Let's start this problem by multiplying through. Using the distributive property, we would get x squared minus 5x equals negative 6. And now what we'll do is we will add this 6 to each side. That'll give us x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. We'll factor. Don't forget to equal 0. We'll get x and x. Now, with this 6, we could use a 6 and a 1 or a 3 and a 2. Both of them are going to give us the 5. Let's just try the 6 and the 1, just see what would happen. So if we try the 6 and the 1, we could put maybe the 6 here and the 1 here. But now look, this 6 is positive. So these two numbers have to have the same sign, and that sign would be that negative. So what we would have then is negative, negative, but that's going to give us negative 6x, and a negative x, that's going to give us negative 7x, but we're looking for a 5. So this isn't going to work, is it? So let's try it again here. Let's go with x and x equaling 0. Let's go with the 3 and the 2, or the 2 and the 3, it doesn't matter. But again, the 6 is positive, so these two numbers are going to have the same sign, which is that middle minus sign, so it's going to be minus 3 minus 2. And sure enough, this should work, right? Because here's minus 2x, minus 3x, minus 5x. So we can read off our solution now. X is going to be 3 and 2. Let's subtract this 3x from both sides. We have positive 6x squared over on the left. Let's keep those positive. So let's eliminate this from the right side. We'll subtract 3x, so that'll give us 6x squared minus 3x is 0. And now we can factor, right? What's common? There's a 3 common and an x common. So let's take out a 3x. And if we do that, what's left is an x and a minus 1, right? What do you put here? Well, 3x times what is going to be negative 3x? It's a 1. Or negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. And the whole thing's still equal to 0. And now it's all factored. We can write our solution. So we'll get x equals 0, right? That's coming from here. And a 1. And again, the 3 has no effect, right? That 3 has no effect. So 3 can never be 0. So the only way this is going to be 0 is if x is 0 or if x is 1. So there's our solution, 0 and 1. Let's factor. Difference of two squares, right? So difference of two squares, we know what to do here. We're going to get conjugates. There's our equals 0. Now remember, just let me remind us again that if there's an equal sign in the problem, there's going to be an equal sign in every step of our work. Let's go back here, right? Equal sign in the problem, equal sign all through our work. So let's factor this. How about x and x, 9 and 9, one's plus, one's minus. We can read off our solution now as negative 9 and positive 9. Or if you like, you can use this notation, plus or minus 9. Let's start by multiplying through here. So we are going to get x squared, and then 9x minus 2x is 7x. And then negative 2 times positive 9 is minus 18 equals 4x. Now, let's subtract this 4x. So that will give us x squared, and then 7x minus 4x is 3x, minus 18 is 0. I think we can factor this one. 2 parentheses, and don't forget to equal 0. X and x, and for 18, I think a 6 and a 3 is going to work. And because the 18 is negative, the 6 and the 3 will have opposite signs. I'll put that middle plus sign with the bigger of the two products. 6x bigger than 3x. So I'm going to put the plus here. And then sure enough, that should work, right? 6x. Oh, I'm just going to put a minus sign there. There we go. So now I'll get 6x minus 3x is 3x, and I can read off the solution. We'll get x is negative 6, positive 3. For problem number 21, the last thing I'm going to do here is multiply this out. I'll end up with, 18x cubed, and then I'll have to try to factor that. No way we're going to do that. So we've got it partially factored already. Why don't we continue factoring by factoring this quadratic right here. So bring down the 3x plus 4, and let's try to factor this quadratic here. So I'm going to factor this like this. So for the 6x squared, let's try the 3 and the 2 instead of a 6 and 1. We've got to start somewhere. So let's try with a 3x and a 2x. And with the 2, there's only one way to get a 2 and a 1. And I can't put the 2 here, right, because then I'd have 2's in common. So the only way this will work is if we put the 2 here, the 1 here. The 2's negative, so these have opposite signs. And I'm going to put that middle plus sign with the larger of these two products. The inner product is 4x. The outer product is smaller, 3x. So I'm going to put that middle plus sign right here. So we'll get 3x plus 2, 2x minus 1. And now we can read off our solutions. X is equal to, okay, change the sign and divide, right? Negative 4 over 3. So we'll get negative 4 over 3. Change the sign and divide, negative 2 over 3. And change the sign and divide, positive 1 over 2. Now we're getting 3 solutions, and you can see that if we had multiplied it out, we would have gotten 18x cubed. X cubed, third degree, giving us 3 solutions. So I think we've got it here. Let's start 22 by multiplying through. We'll multiply through here, and then we'll combine these two. We'll multiply that out. So this will give us 2x squared plus 6x equals, now let's multiply here. First and first gives us 3x squared. And then the outer product and the inner product. The outer is 9x, and one more is 10x. So plus 10x. And then the last and the last gives us a 3, so plus 3. Now, the way I'm looking at this is that it seems to be quadratic, right? We've got squares on the left and the right. We've got more x squareds on the right than the left. We've got 3 of them over here, only 2 of them here. So let's get all the terms on the right side. Let's get everything to the right side. So I think what I'm going to do is get everything over here. So let's do this. Let's subtract 2x squared and subtract 6x. So this will give us, all right, 3x squared minus 2x squared is just x squared. Actually, what we're going to get is 0 over here, right? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all of these. So that'll give us a 0 over here. So 0 is equal to, now 3x squared minus 2x squared is x squared. And then 10x minus 6x is 4x. And then we're still left with that 3 over here. Let's factor. So how about x and x? Only one way to get a 3 and a 1. And the 3 is positive. They'll have the same sign, which is this middle plus sign. So we'll get plus, and we'll read off our solution here as negative 3 and negative 1.